When I found out I was admitted to Brown, it was amazing.
When I first opened my letter, there was a financial aid package. And I was very surprised in a very good way, just because I didn't think I could ever afford to come to Brown.
So I was, just so thankful that, on top of being accepted to a wonderful school, that they would be paying for the majority of my education, which was, critical for me.
I never really considered, an Ivy League university, but a teacher of mine, he introduced me to Brown by giving me a book entitled A Hope in the Unseen, and it detailed the life of Cedric Jennings, who was African-American male, who, came from a single-parent background, and I just realized how, our lives really parallel. He went on a limb and applied to Brown, and he got accepted, and I just felt that if Brown, had the boldness and the audacity to actually admit someone like Cedric Jennings, who, isn't your typical conventional applicant, I just felt that I had nothing to lose.
As a San Diego native, I had only looked into the UC system. So when I heard about Brown's need-blind policy, I immediately applied. The fact that Brown does not take into account my financial circumstances to determine whether or not I deserve a spot in the university is something very valuable to me and reflective of the philosophy of Brown.
A true education in the liberal arts is not possible without a diverse campus, and this means a diversity of thought, a diversity of perspectives, and most importantly, a diversity of people, of students. Brown is committed to having the most diverse campus possible by dedicating its resources to financial aid. We have an amazing body of talented students, and we don't want financial barriers to prevent any one of them from being here and contributing to the fullest.
Once I got in, I had to compare my options, and Brown had the best financial aid package. So that was a big plus for me and for me choosing Brown. Despite the fact that I lived 7 minutes away from Brown, it feels like a whole new world. Growing up in South Providence, I had a preconceived notion that everyone at Brown was just very aristocratic, and that's not true at all. I was glad and shocked at the same time when I first got my financial aid package, because I didn't think that I could ever think of getting a scholarship to come to Brown. I praise financial aid because without financial aid, I would not be here.
Financial aid was never a question for me. It was, yes, that's what I have to get, and we're going to make sure that it happens. Applying for financial aid was always something that I knew would be on my shoulders. I knew that having separated parents, I'd be the one who had to communicate between the two parties to get all the forms together. So I always just felt like financial aid was, open for me to engage with them and talk about this a little bit more and to demystify this for me, which I think because Brown set up that feeling from the beginning that, we are here to serve you. You're welcome to come and talk to us and bring up concerns that do come up.
So I remember very, very well the day that my daughter was accepted to Brown. We were elated, we were ecstatic, we were so happy. Then suddenly I was struck with the feeling that what if she doesn't get the financial aid we need to send her to Brown? And then after we settled down and we went home, I went into my room and I was sitting in my bed, and for hours I worried. It was 11 o'clock at night, and she came to my room and she was holding a paper that she had printed out from the website, and she said, "I can go to Brown." And she came over and she brought me the paper, and I saw the numbers and I knew that she could go to Brown. And it was just the best feeling ever.
I don't feel like there is anything out of my reach. And I think that's what Brown has afforded me, because I've been able to work with some of the best people in their fields and be able to be with, some of the brightest students in the country. And, I just don't see doors not open for me.